my ninjas, the Pocket 3 is here and it is everywhere. Cause like for real, everyone either has one, ordered one, or wants one. Now look, I'm gonna go ahead and be the one. I'm Neo. I ain't gonna sell you no dream, but everybody don't need a Pocket 3. A Pocket 3 actually may not be for you. Wait, so it's going over here, all the way over there under the table?
No, the table is the big.
Okay, just dropped the kids off at school and I got a crazy busy day ahead of me. But I do want to get into this whole, should you get the Pocket 3? Because a lot of you guys tell me you're getting it and then I look at your channel and I'm gonna be real, the Pocket 3 may not be for you. Like I'm just super saying, y'all know I'm gonna keep it real with you. And now look, I ain't a cheap dude, but I do like saving the monies. Now, for real though, copping new drip can be a bit tricky, which is why you gotta ask yourself a few things, because at the end of the day, you don't wanna get the wrong drip for the job. And trust me, my ninjas, I've been there. I have brought the wrong drip to the job and it just made everything more complicated and more of a hassle, and to the point where you gotta almost adjust the job to fit the drip. And look, I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the first rules of bringing sauce is to never adjust the job to the drip. Go ahead and write that down. All right, quick side note, I am always amazed when I see these big old American trucks here. Like, something about it just makes you feel like, dang, like, I just miss it, just a little bit. Just miss America, just a little bit. All right, I need to go ahead and stop being silly and get to work. For the sake of the video and the time, because I got to get back to work, the main question seems to be, should I get an action camera or should I get a pocket camera or should I get something like a compact point and shoot or even something more professional? And then something else to consider too is that we all have cell phones in our pocket, but to be honest, a lot of people don't want to use their cell phone because they got their whole lives on their cell phone. But at the same time though, a cell phone can get the job done. And now the first question you need to ask yourself when choosing between a camera is simply, what are you trying to do? Are you planning on doing vlogs? Are you planning on doing something more action-y? Are you doing product reviews? Are you doing short films? Also, did I mention weather? Are you a photographer looking to take a bunch of photos? Are you into more handy or rough environments? I had to throw in weather because it's like crazy sunny and literally it was just rainy just like maybe an hour ago. Are you filming a bunch of FPV? Are you using an FPV drone? And the list just goes on and on. But you can already see that based off of what you're doing, your choices will be massively different. And with that said though, what I've noticed is, especially reading the comments and reading other videos in the comments, for a lot of people, the Pockets series cameras are just not for them. I mean, it could be a great addition to what they're already doing, but for the most part, an action camera will do just fine and it's probably the best tool for what they're trying to do. Okay, so then what is good for what? When is it okay to have an action camera and when is it best to use something a little bit more professional like the ZV-E1 or the Pocket 3? With an action camera, it's literally just press record and go, because you don't really have to worry about dropping. You don't gotta worry about the weather. You don't gotta worry about it raining, because over here, it rains a lot. Also, speaking of rain, it's about to start raining right now. What I tell you. And also, you really don't have to worry about like getting something in a shot because it's wide enough. The field of view is wide. So having something like the Dji Osmo Action 4, you're pretty much covered if you're looking to do something like vlogging, maybe go out and do some underwater sports, or even FPV. You are pretty much covered, especially if it's about to rain. Pimpin', you Gucci. Also, if you're trying to get a shot in a tight spot, you're gonna go with an action camera. You're not gonna go with the Pocket. It's mainly when you wanna step it up a notch. Like if you're trying to do something a little bit just above, like another level. That's when these don't cut it. And that's where it gets tricky. It gets tricky when you want to take it up a notch, because that's where the action cameras can't hold up. They lack the image quality as well as overall usability and professionalism. Because yeah, the Pocket 3 ain't waterproof, but it looks better, as well as looking better in low light. Period. And the same can be said for like literally all of my mirrorless cameras, like the Sony A7s III, my Canons, my Sony ZV-1, all that. The same thing could be said. And that's when you'll find yourself better off using something like the Pocket 3 or even a mirrorless camera or a compact point and shoot. And a good example of this is if you're doing studio work or shooting indoors a lot, or let's just say you're doing like real estate work. You might want to go with the Pocket 3. Also, if you're doing a lot of product reviews or even tech reviews, you'll be better off with the Pocket 3 or even the Sony ZV-1 or just something along those lines. You will not really get what you're looking for out of an action camera. And then also the same could be said for if you're going for like relaxation videos or if you're just selling stock footage. Because I told you, this is like no joke. The Pocket cameras paid for my Sony A7s III, paid for the Sony ZV-1, paid for the Sony ZV-1, and paid for all the Pocket cameras themselves. And it's not that I never tried to sell stock footage using an action camera, it's just that, yeah, they don't sell. Unless they're like flying, unless it's on like a drone, then yeah, but if you're just shooting regular stock footage, it is not gonna sell. And now something else to note too is that when it comes to usability and ease of use, the action camera scene basically, they got you covered. They are a little bit easier to use than the Pocket cameras as well as DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. Also, if you are looking for the camera with the best stabilization, action cameras got you. Like, I'm just being real, I'm in the day pimping in the day. Because let's be real, I would not shoot something that someone was paying me, like a short film or a reel or real estate footage. I would not shoot these things with action cameras. I would shoot them with one of the Pocket cameras though. And look, I ain't even being a hater. Y'all already know my hood never let me be no hater. I'm just super sane. I'm just, again, I told you, I ain't gonna sell you no dream. But would I get out and hug the block with it and vlog? Of course. Oh, and then also something else to consider too is what are you comfortable with using? Because I see people always wanting the latest and greatest drip, but they don't know what they're doing. And now don't get me wrong, the Pocket 3 is not a complex camera, but I do see a bunch of comments basically saying that they don't like the mechanical gimbal. Pimping, it's just like all the other gimbals. So that's what I mean. Like if a gimbal is too complex for you, this is not the camera for you. I'm just super saying. Something else to consider too is the budget, because a good vlogging camera would basically cost you maybe around $600 to like $2,000. So you can see there's a huge budget gap between an action camera that's going for like $300 to $500 versus $600 to $2,000. So that is another thing you need to consider too, is what is your budget? I mean, because let's be real, we're trying to make the monies. We're not trying to lose the bag. And now something else to know too is that the Pocket 3 is not an action camera. Action cameras tend to have no moving parts in them, which makes them like perfect for biking, drones, all that kind of stuff. While the Pocket cameras, as well as like DSLRs and mirrorless cameras like the Sony ZV-1 and even your cell phones, they are not recommended to do things that cause a lot of high vibrations because they have moving parts in them. They have autofocus and a couple of other things like stabilization. So these things are not recommended for high vibration situations. So even though you're gonna be seeing the Pocket 3 compared to a ton of action cameras, they are not really the same camera. I just wanna throw that out there, And now something I do have to point out is that having an action camera in your bag, you cannot go wrong with having one. Like I always have at least an action, like one of them in my bag. Having the Pocket 3 pairs really well with the Action 4. And having an Action 4 also pairs really well with the Sony ZV-1. I'm just super saiyan. Oh, my wind muff was in the shot. Actually, I think we're gonna go pull up right here. I don't think I've ever been here, so yeah, let's pull. But now at the end of the day, I actually like both, and also you can't go wrong with either. I'm just being real. I mean, only if you get the wrong one for the job. Like that's about it. But for the most part, if either one does the thing that you're looking for, you probably made a good choice. So with all that said, cop what's best for you and go out there and bring the sauce. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit chilly out, but my lunch came and it looks good. Actually, you know what, y'all? Y'all wanna get down on this? Here you go. So look, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, but I'm gonna eat first. my ninjas, that is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. And also a huge shout out to today's coffee sponsors, Michael Heron, Justin, and then somebody who bought a coffee but didn't leave a name. So thank you so much for the coffee, and a big shout out to Big Ninja Boss Barracus B for the super thanks. Now B, you know B, thank you. Like, seriously, thank you. Man, you guys are all some ninja bosses. And if you want to buy me a coffee, don't be shy. The link is down below. But if not, no tea, no shade, because you know I ain't a hater. And also, real quick, I do have to ask, are you team action camera or are you team, like, compact camera? Like, let me know down below. But anyway, it's time for me to get back to work. But again, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. And I will see you in the next one. Everybody's like staring at me. Just all up in my grill.